Hi everyone! Sorry for the delay on this. I know some of you have been waiting, so I thought I would finally get my act together and do this video about Excel. Um, okay, so I have a giant spreadsheet that I've just been adding to since I started, so I kind of started from scratch so you could see how I did that. I have a giant one for all of my revenue that comes in, and then I have a separate one that I do for all my expenses. And I can do a little quick short video about that one too. The expenses one is really straightforward. It's not nearly as complicated. But anyway, so what I have here is my initial investment. So this is a tab down here on my Excel. I have my initial investment. So I have the initial 5,300 I spent, the initial leggings that I bought, and then other random expenses for a total of 7039.47. So then what I did was, knowing the formula that we all follow, I kind of made a little chart over here for the hostess, the date, the total from the party. So that includes shipping too, the percent to taxes, the percent to new inventory, and the percent to payoff. So how I set these were, I just took the sum, let me delete that. So I did the sum of whatever this cell is, and I'm multiplying that times 0.2 for 20%, I think is what we said. And then it's 0 right now, but if I say I made $100 on my party, my cells fill in. And I did the same thing for this. So for new inventory, I put 30%, and for here, 50%. So the percent I'm paying off. Now, a really easy way to copy all your formulas is to see how there's like a little square there. You take that, you drag it down, and then that'll fill it in. So here you have, and it automatically updates. So it has, instead of it being H4, so it's H4 times 0.2. This one's H5, H6, H7. So it's just going down the line. So anytime I type in a new number here, okay, I would never make that much money. It just kind of adds and does the math for you. So then down here, I went a little crazy and I thought, well, I want to know how much I have left to pay off. So from there, I have negative 7,000 as my total from over here. I put that here. And then this is what's left to pay off. So I'm taking the negative and I'm adding my total down here of what I'm paying off. Does that make sense? And the way that I'm really anal about the way my spreadsheets are set up. So I format all of my cells and I make everything the same. So all of my, here you go. So I do everything in a currency. I like my negatives to be red. I don't know why. I think that's the way I used to do it at work. But you can do it whatever you want, really. So if I were to just type in like, negative, whatever, it should come up, it'll come up red. I don't know why I do that. Okay, so let's say you have your first party. I have a sheet here. So I used to do a new sheet. I rename it to, let's say I had Mary Smith party. So I'll put, actually I'll probably just I name it all the same. M Smith, and let's say the date was the 3rd. Okay, so that way I have everything here. So I have kind of a, oh, sorry, you went away. I have kind of a one that I already used. Sorry, I'm trying to get set up here. So let me delete the contents here. So I have, this is the setup that I like because then I can see everything. So I have this party here, and this was Mary Smith party. Whether it's online or in home, I kind of only do online these days. And then basically I go through, when I do my onlines, I go through, and I do this kind of after the fact for in-homes, but I'm not as detailed because I don't need all this information. So what I do is for the online, I put the person's name in, and then what they got. So they got a Nicole, size large, and the amount would be 48. And did I invoice them? How did they pay? Are they taxed? Are they in Maryland? Did they have any coupons, or did they get like a 2 for 45 deal for leggings? Did I ship it? What was the total they paid? The item totals and their email. Okay, So that way I have everything set up and in the same spreadsheet. So here's an example of one that I just did. If I can get it to copy and paste, hold on a sec. Okay, so this is one that I just did. And again, I'm super anal. So when I can't see, when things go off the page, I don't know what I'm looking at down here, like what my cells are. Like obviously I can figure it out, but I like to be able to see. So I click on the one below. So like let's say I want to be able to see this line right here. So I click on the one below it. I go up to, I go up to the window on my top bar, like along my, not on like the bar up top, not the one down there. And I'm going to click on freeze panes. So now it stays there and it's always there no matter how many people I add to the spreadsheet. Okay, so here, this girl, Kristen, she was one of the hostesses. So her leggings for signing up, rather than putting the amount that she paid, I put the amount that it cost me, and I'll tell you why in a second. I invoiced her. In here, I'm writing hostess incentive, and I'll tell you why in a second. Her total, her items total was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, and her email. So then down here, I have the items total, and it's literally super easy to do. You do equals the sum, open parentheses, and then you just highlight everything that you want added in there, close parentheses. You can type it in yourself. And then like, let's say I add a number here, so I added 50 more items. This number down here will change. This number here. So this number here is the same thing. It's the sum of this column here. And I put the total with shipping here because then I know everything that's coming in versus, and then I subtract my shipping later because I do stamps, so I do like $100 increments. So like it's like too difficult to keep it separate or to keep it together. I was doing it separate down here. I have a line for it. And I was doing it that way, but it was just way too confusing. I couldn't keep up with it. So now I just do the total of what I'm bringing in, the total of what I'm paying, and that's my expense, and that's separate. Okay, so why do I do hostess incentives? So here I have a line down here for hostess incentives, and here you can see it has a very complicated formula, but it's really not that complicated. It just looks that way. So it's an if-then statement, and we used to use these a lot for work. And basically what it does is that if you type in the coupons applied, so see how this is column H, it says here, if I'm typing in column H5 through H34, hostess incentive, it will add and become a negative down here in this one right here. So anytime I type in hostess incentive, so let's say down here, I'm going to add hostess incentive. This number, when I hit enter, this number is going to change. So that added that number there. So that's why I don't put the amount that they are paying. I'm putting the amount that I am paying. So I know what is being a loss for me, I guess. So that can go there. And then this one here, I basically say it equals whatever this one is here. So that way I can do the sum. I can do the sum here and kind of see it as it's coming up, and then I transfer it here. These are all, everything is anything that would be subtracted. So like I said, I used to do shipping, so I actually take that one out now. So I can delete that. And this is kind of what my take home is at the end of the day after minus my hostess incentives, if that makes sense. So what happens when you add cells? So let's say Terry, whatever her name is, Goggins, I forgot that she actually got 2 more items. So I go here, I right click, I insert. This will change. So this went from J36 and now it's J37. So if I undo what I just did, oops, sorry. This goes back to J36. So when you insert, it will update itself. Now, here's the problem. If you delete all of this, so like let's say I'm like, oh, I want to start from scratch. Let me delete all of this. Don't do that. What you want to do is right click and hit clear contents, and that will just delete all of your info and you don't have to worry about anything else. So now I shouldn't have done that. Hold on, let me try that again. So, just kidding. You want to only delete this part right here. So only delete this piece right here. So you want to hit clear contents, and that will reset everything. And then this formula is still here, this formula is still here, this formula is here, this one's here, etc. And there you go. So that's kind of in a nutshell what I do. I know that was really long and probably more than you cared to know, but that's how I do it. And I find it to be very helpful because now what I can do is I have all of my info here. So let's say Kristen needs a invoice. I can go, okay, she got a one size, and this is why two screens really helps, because I take her email, I copy it, I paste it, and then I just go through and do 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 through all of her sizes here, and it's super easy. I don't have to keep scrolling back and forth. I don't have to toggle between screens. It's like, I think Kristen even said she does her 2 tablets so much easier than having to go back and forth, and I have all the info sitting in front of me. I don't have to deal with a billion post-its, all that kind of stuff. It was driving me nuts. So anyway, so that's how I do it. You do not by any means have to do it this way. It's just how I like to do it and how I feel comfortable. But otherwise, you're good to go. So like I said, you just insert here, right click, rename it. And then this one, if I do K, so then, and then I do the date. So then when I go back, I can say, okay, those are all my parties. They're all in order, blah, blah, blah. All right. So I did this party. This is my total from the party, so 834. So I go back here, I type it in. Oops, sorry, there we go. I put the hostess, the party date, and then down here it automatically updates. So this is the total that should be in my taxes right now. This is the total that I should be paying off, or that I should be putting towards new inventory, and this is the total that I should be putting into an account to pay off. Obviously, it's going to update every time you add. So say you did another party for 500, you did another party for 1,000. So these are just going to keeping higher and higher. So this really is the only number that I worry about when I start making a profit, is how much I have in my taxes account, because I want to make sure I'm not getting totally screwed at the end of the year and having to deal with that. So, and then this number hopefully getting smaller and smaller as you're paying stuff off. Okay, I think that's it. I'm gonna upload this because I have changed this document a little bit since I did it last. So I'll upload this new one. It has a few new things in there, and you guys are welcome to use it. Let me know if you have any questions. I hope this helps. Thanks.